Let me do my official opening here. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Living Well Community, your home for interactive and on-demand wellness programming created and curated for you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. I'm Jon Roberts. This is Mind the Moment in Everyday Life, where each week we look at how mindfulness can help you make the most out of every moment in your lives. I'm here, as always, with my old friend Jessica Morey and my new friend Enrique Collazo. Good morning, Enrique and Jess. Good afternoon or good morning, Enrique. You're in the Bay Area, so good morning to you. How you guys doing today?
Thank you. Good morning. Doing great. Happy to be here.
Jess, how are you? You good?
I'm awesome, and I'm so just delighted and heartwarmed to see my old friend Enrique.
Beautiful. Now,
Yeah.
folks,
And
That's
over a
always nice.
decade or something like that. It's a long time.
Yeah.
We also haven't seen each other in a while, so it's great.
Yeah.
where do you guys
Good to
meet?
see you.
I guess teacher training.
Teacher training?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 in LA.
Uh-huh.
So that was like 15 plus years ago or something.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we
At
did
least.
many teen retreats together. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Enrique, has Jess taken you water skiing yet? Because I hear that's what she does for her favorites. Is that no? Oh well.
No,
Okay. All
no,
right. I
not
might beat
yet.
you to the punch.
Great. Would you want to go water skiing, Enrique?
Heck yeah, we're going to go.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Sure, we can
Yeah.
do that.
We're going to
Yeah.
coordinate
I'm
this.
more of a boarder, but
You could wakeboard. You could wakeboard. We can do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, Enrique, I have a few words to say about you to the people. So, if folks have not encountered Enrique in the past at any point, he is a mindfulness teacher who was born and raised in LA, currently based in the Bay Area. He guides retreats and courses for people of all ages. But we were especially interested in bringing him in today because of his work with teens and young people. One of the ways that shows up is in his work with organizations like Challenge Day, which is a day-long school-based program for 7th to 12th graders designed to boost self-esteem, encourage positive peer pressure, reduce bullying, and foster connection. But before we get into all that, and there's a lot there, let's get into the icebreaker segment where I try to get to know Jess and our guests a little bit better as people by asking them a question they have probably never been asked before. And so, Jess and Enrique, if you were a scented candle, what would your scent be?
Hmm. You got something, Jess?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was debating popcorn or but I actually think it's gonna be a little patchouli mixed with Ritz. And it's like I can't hide that at heart I'm kind of a hippie, you know?
I'm sorry, did you say
Hmm.
mixed with
Hmm.
Ritz, like Ritz crackers?
Mixed with rose, a little rose.
Okay.
Rose.
Or
Nice.
mixed with Riz, which I think you have a lot of, Jess, as
Yes.
well. That's
Two with the
I'd
Riz.
say.
First thing that came up for me was Palo Santo, just because I have it on my beard and I smell it, and
Oh,
it's yeah,
very nice.
it's
Very nice.
also kind of hippie, but also yeah.
No, I think Jess at least would not be surprised to hear that if I were a scented candle, my scent would most likely be pine needles steeped in hot dog water. So I'm curious, you guys are around young people, I think,
Interesting.
more than I am. Do young people wear a lot of fragrances these days, or is that like a thing of the past?
The boys in Jersey in high school do.
Yeah. I was gonna say teenage boys wear so much Axe spray. I lived in a boys' dorm for 8 years, and it was like so epic to just I had to walk through their hallway to get to my house, my apartment, third floor, and it was so overwhelming the amount of Axe.
Did you ever bring it up, or just let that be?
People said I brought it up, but people said you want that instead of what it would smell underneath. Yes.
Yes. What is the
I'm
alternative?
complaining.
The devil you know, but yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I wasn't really into fragrance as a young person or deodorant for that matter, because like yourselves, I was a little bit of a hippie. I went around smelling a bit like a wet dog in Birkenstocks in my crispy hemp necklace. Quick question. Were there any aesthetic choices you made as young people that you're glad to see that the young people of today are just not into? Like
Hmm.
perhaps the puka shell necklace or
I definitely wore, those like apron shirts, like that you would go like dead shows and fish shows. They like stopped here and you like tied them just like back open.
I do. I
I
do.
mean, I don't know if I would care if someone wore them, but I don't think it was the best choice for
Hmm.
me. Yeah.
Hmm. Sometimes I guess
Yeah.
write. Sometimes I guess take notes. I guess write down like apron shirt just so I can.
So you can Google it and see what that means.
Enrique, I'm assuming you pretty much look like you did in high school. That's
Yeah, you
right.
were absolutely right. But the only thing that's changed is, my clothes were so oversized, so things have
Mm.
like, like a little bit more form-fitting now. So yeah, yes.
Very flattering. Very
But
good.
but this,
Folks, we'd love
yeah.
you to be a part of this conversation today as well. Please open up the chat. Let us know. Well, let's see. What scent would you be if you were a scented candle? Were there any aesthetic regrets from your teenage years? And of course, any questions you have for Enrique as we go through the program today. But okay, let's get down to it. Let's get talking to Enrique. So, if you don't mind me asking, how did you come to mindfulness meditation? First, as a practitioner, and then what led you to feel called to teach, and especially to feel called to teach young people?
Yeah, thank you, John, for the question. And what's up, everyone? I came in through the door of addiction, actually, drugs and alcohol, suffering as a teenager into my young adult years, and at 24, kind of found through recovery and the 12-step program, was also introduced to mindfulness, and
Mhm.
also found Buddhism and my Buddhist practice around the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what led me to teach, I didn't have any real desire to teach, but in 12 steps, like the particular folks that I hung out with were really clear about emphasizing service. It's like you were suffering, we supported you for fun and for free, or you're feeling much more free now and much more liberated, and now it's your turn to offer it to the next person. And so I felt that from the 12 steps, and I felt that from my Dharma practice. And so it felt like the when a facilitator training came and I was invited into it, it felt like a natural yes. And in the sense of like I wanted to serve people and I wanted to deepen my own understanding of the practice. So that's how I stepped into training. So, yeah.
Yeah, the more time I spend with mindfulness teachers, like professional mindfulness teachers like yourselves, what I love is how it doesn't feel like it's a job for you guys. Like it really is
Mm,
maybe more of a calling or an invocation
mhm.
than like going to work every day. Is that true? Is that accurate or
Absolutely. It feels like soul work, and I say this a lot. It feels like work that I've been called to do, work that invites me into my best self every single day. Yeah, it is not your typical, yeah, and I feel very blessed, right, to be able to earn a living doing what I love doing. Yeah.
So Enrique, I'm curious about Challenge Day, which I admit I wasn't really aware of before I was I guess looking into your background. So when I was in school back in the late '80s and early '90s, I can promise you that if my school had brought in a program designed to boost self-esteem or foster connection, I would have maybe turned a bit of a skeptical eye upon it. So I'm curious how you guys make it work. How do you get past any barriers that kids might, naturally, put up when adults are trying to teach them anything about, how to get along with each other or be better people?
That's a good question. Yeah, we go in and we are vulnerable, right? We're really clear that we're not going to ask y'all to do anything that we're not willing to do first. So we want to hear your story. So we're going to tell you our story first.
Hmm.
We want you to play because we know the benefits of playing. So even though it's an edge for me still, because I'm a serious cat, I'm going to get out there and play and be silly and get free because I want to role model it for you, and that builds trust, and they go for it. A lot of times they come in super skeptical, and I appreciate all the days, but there's something super special about the folks that come in really skeptical and leave with a deep belief in, yeah, I have a sense of their own goodness.
Hmm.
That's really what we're kind of. My hope is that when leaving Challenge Day, that they feel empowered, they feel like fully loved, and yeah, have the capacity to keep expressing themselves in safe spaces. Yeah.
It's a 1 day program, is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 1 day model. Yeah.
Do you feel like, I mean, do you have a sense that like you were able to make any sort of breakthroughs in 1 day, or is it like, if I'd only had more time, you know?
Yes and yes. So yes, there's break absolutely every single day. It's huge breakthroughs, right? It's and because, and I didn't answer this part of the question that you asked in the beginning, why particularly teaching to teens is because of the teen retreat model that I also was my first model as like a week long with teens in wilderness doing practices, all the kind of social and emotional learning, mindfulness practices. And when I did my first teen retreat, it inspired me to continue working with teens because I had never seen anything like it before, like a bunch of young people coming together, fully expressed, authentic, and doing these liberating practices, turning inward, connecting relationally, learning how to do that skillfully. Right. I mean, and then hanging out with a bunch of adults who wanted to spend their time with young people. I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
So
10 years later, here I am. Yeah.
so I know you don't only teach to young people, but I'm curious when, do you take a different approach when you're teaching mindfulness to young people versus teaching to older folks like us?
I don't think. And maybe I should, but I don't. I don't. I do my best to like, yeah, just be real with both groups. If I change anything, if like I'm going into a school, maybe it's a middle school, and it's clear that whatever, because of the system and the education that's happening within the school, that they, I might need to change some words around. And but other than that, um, you know, yeah.
Well, what about you, Jess, actually? Because you also work with young people quite a bit.
Well, yeah. No, I think because that's where I learned, yeah, I cut my teeth, so to say, teaching mindfulness with teens on teen retreats. I just, from the very beginning, I've always been trained in being totally real, vulnerable, and authentic in the ways that we teach. And so I still do that with adults. And yeah, and I think in some settings, it's kind of like not the way people are used to having people teach mindfulness, but I think that it really resonates for a lot of people. Maybe not everyone. Like I'm definitely not on a pedestal in the front of the room. It's like, let me tell you all the things that I'm working with right now kind of model. So I think that resonates for certain people. Yeah.
This is nice to know because I know that when you do teach adults, you do insist upon a kind of a throne that actually is elevated as high as possible above the.
And it has to be gold.
The weird thing is the sort of the scepter that I know that you usually wield, which is that's a Zen thing, I think. Maybe this is a question for both of you. So what in teaching young people, like what have you learned from the young people you're teaching? Maybe about mindfulness in particular, or just about anything that you're like, oh boy, that's now I'm the student. But
For me, it's just around like being less rigid, less I honor my kind of tradition and the form that I learned and I value and cherish, and to just yeah, more relaxed in my own practice that young people have taught me.
Yeah. I think for me, like what's coming up most recently, I did this contemplative semester in the fall. So it was 18, 25-year-olds, not as young as the teen retreats. The biggest thing that I get to see was like my mindset around power and just to explore like decision-making authority, as much as like I feel really anti-authoritarian, exploring biases that I have about power, decision-making, and authority with young people still in there. And then also like what's wise and skillful? Like what is the relationship of an adult who has different, lived experiences and valuing that, but also not having a kind of power over authoritarian perspective. So something about that's what I've most recently.
Yeah, beautiful. So it might be a good moment to sort of segue into the meditative practice. But Jess, do you have any questions you want, any follow-up for Enrique before we do that?
This is probably a different we could do another whole session on this, but Enrique also recently had a baby. And I'm wondering like how any of that your practice is coming into being a father, a new father. Yeah.
Oh, fully on. Let's see what um, well, the form of, sitting silently with my eyes closed doesn't take shape a lot anymore. And now it looks like feeding Justice, and he's chewing and he's smiling and he's throwing, or we just the moments I have with him, and I intentionally kind of use it as a practice. Um, I love those practices. I love that, and just also it's such sweet mirror because I've done a lot of healing and a lot of work, but as certain kind of controlling kind of um uh, yeah, any kind of anger or like all the stuff that might come up and wanting to like you're not doing it the way I need you to do. It's such a beautiful mirror, and I get to like, that's right. You're doing perfect, right? So it's just
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you for that. Well, let's
Yeah.
do a little practice if you don't mind. So Enrique, we'll ask you to lead the meditation today, and we thought yeah, it'd be interesting to ask you to how do you lead this for a group of young people, but that's not necessary. I mean, you already said that you don't necessarily change your practice too much for leading, but whatever feels right to you.
Sweet. In 10 minutes, you said, right?
Oh, 10
Yeah.
minutes would be great. Yeah, thank
Good
you.
issue. Cool, 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 cool. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, settling in into your posture. Sometimes it could be helpful to even drop in internal inquiry yourself and question for your body is what do you need in this moment, body? And we take the time to listen and respond appropriately. Whatever posture, whatever form your body intuitively has taken, from there, invite you to come into contact with gravity on the body. Think if you can notice the gentle kind of hug downward, allowing the organs and the tissue and the muscles and our nervous system to kind of settle to rejoin planet Earth. And relaxing what can be relaxed in the body, and honoring the places in the body where you might want to soften, and it's letting you know it's not ready. Feeling the contact points, whatever it is that you're resting on, whatever's supporting your practice in this moment. As we slow down in this way, we can begin to notice certain things might come alive, like our sense doors. Like seeing is happening, whether you have your eyes open or closed. Hearing is happening. Smelling, tasting. Contact, physical body, emotional body, all present. And you might have naturally found your way to a home base or an anchor. If not, I'll invite you to see if you can gather your attention from wherever it is and see if you can gently rest your attention on the breath, your breath, or sound of my voice, sound in your soundscape. A sensation in the body that feels good, pleasant, or neutral. Like the palm of the hands or bottoms of your feet. And we use this as an anchor. A ship uses an anchor to support stability. But for a couple minutes, the invitation is to see if you can get really curious about your anchor. Whether it's the breath, sound, sensation in the body, something else that you've chosen. And asking yourself experientially, like, what's happening? If it's the breath, noticing all the sensations that make up the experience of breathing. If it's sound, checking out and getting curious about sound. If it's a sensation in the body, maybe feeling your hands from the inside out. And then when the mind pulls, tugs at your attention, which is natural, no big deal. As soon as you notice that, that can actually be a moment of celebrating ourselves. Like, oh, good job, I woke up. And then there's a choice point. An invitation is to come back, come home. Presence, this breath, this moment. Remembering that this is a practice, it's a training. No expectations are to be done perfectly. And training our mind, breaking our addiction to the thinking mind, and breaking our habitual hammering of ourselves as we train ourselves to be gentle and kind, compassionate. And as we end, just seeing if you can offer yourself some appreciation for answering the call to come to this session, to take your metaphorical seat. I like to think of it as a warrior stance. We cultivate compassion and wisdom. A good job. And when you're ready, in your own time, in your own way, your eyes are closed, you can gently open them, remembering that the mindfulness doesn't have to stop, right? The metaphorical bell rings, right? We can still keep practicing. So, thank you for your practice.
Thank you, Enrique. Before I say anything else, let me guess a few words. If you would like to ask us a question for us to address in a future episode, please do email us at askmtm@point32health.org. If you'd like to view this session again, it will be up on our YouTube page and our podcast feed later this week. If the links you'll need are in the chat, or if you're already watching this as a recording, they will be in the show notes. Question for, I think, both of you. So and I'm making some presumptions here, but when we came to mindfulness practice, the three of us, it was probably still new enough in our culture, how we think of it today, that it probably seemed like a little bit like, oh, like I have a secret thing, like, oh, we've discovered this thing. I think for younger people, at this point, mindfulness has become so infused in our society that it might almost seem a little bit old-fashioned. Do either of you like ever run up against that resistance with kids being like, oh, like this mindfulness thing, oh, it's what my parents do. It's like not something that I'm into.
I haven't yet so much. I mean, okay, that's not true. It has happened like in California where there was like mindfulness in schools in a way that like this young person didn't love how it was being taught. So to me, when that happens, I wish everyone had a teacher like Enrique to be their mindfulness teacher. Yeah. Or introduced, in a way that's like real and authentic and cool, Yeah.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, that would be my answer too. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, Enrique, I know that you're cooler than me, but I think the two of you are about equally cool. That's my guess here. So one final question, if I may, for individuals who might have young people in their lives, teens, and they're thinking, okay, I want to introduce this to my, son, daughter, nephew, niece. Is there any way that you would recommend doing so, like a way to sort of communicate these practices in a way that, or the importance or the impact of them that might be particularly meaningful to younger people?
Well, my first thoughts is like it depends on your relationship with them. Like my first thought was like, oh, watch Inside Out Part 1 and 2, and what comes up with them. And if there's like, oh, how do I manage and self-regulate? Oh, teen retreat, right, or whatever. Like here, try this out. But to teen retreat would be the route I would go, and then if that didn't resonate, then I would some kind of Inside Out dialogue.
It's a mix for me. One is like really the thing I always recommend to parents is like if you have a practice, like embody your practice with your young person, your teenager, so that and be real about it. So if they see, that's what started for me. My mom had a practice and I got motivated by seeing her like come home from a retreat basically and see like, whoa, something's happening that's really good on those retreats. And then if that doesn't work, I've also had success with the whole reverse psychology. So I've gotten some teens to go on road trip by being like, I don't think this is really for you. Why not? Why
But
not? You probably don't. That's probably not what you need right now. Yeah.
oh yeah, mom. I'll show you. You'll see how mindful I can become. It's really speaking to me thinking about like, modeling this, Jess, because I realize the extent to which my own son, well, my wife and I notice that he keeps saying, using the term randomly, even though he doesn't really know what it means. He's like, oh, like randomly, I just did this thing. And we asked him, like, where did you hear that? He's like, you guys say it all the time. and and so it's like, wow, okay, so that probably translates to actions as well. But let me move into our final, well, one of our final segments, plugs. Enrique, if folks want to know more about your work, what you're up to, where can they go to do that?
Yeah, challengeday.org. I'm a part of a mindfulness collective. It's called Dharma Homies, but it's a wide range of I thought you were leaving.
That was I like, yay for
Teachings.
Dharma homies. Dharma homies.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me there and at Challenge Day, and yeah, I might have a website one of these days, but not now. So
Oh, it's very,
yeah,
very old school of you.
yeah.
Yes. Anything happening for you?
The only thing I really want to plug is on Tuesdays, I do this 30-minute session with some great teachers and my friend John. So
I'm gonna say, what is this? Who are these people? But okay, beautiful. So let me just end by asking you, both of you, what is the theme song for your mindfulness practice this week?
Mm.
I'm gonna go with Ordinary. The current day. Who's the name? We'll figure it out, but it's called Ordinary. It's a very popular song right now.
Okay, very good.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna go with Caffeine. It's a house song that I like.
Okay.
Coffee house swinger. Yes.
And I think, I'm feeling this week No Expectations by the Rolling Stones. I think the version from Rock and Roll Circus would probably do us well. Folks, don't hesitate to check out our ever-growing Mind the Moment in Everyday Life Dance Party playlist on Spotify, link in the chat or in the show notes below. Now, this session is free and open to everyone because of our Living Well community programming. We have many other sorts of programs that you can also explore, fitness classes, Tai Chi, yoga, etc. Always free, always open to all, so you can bring your community while you build your community. Enrique, Jess,
nice.
thank you so much for being here. It's been wonderful, wonderful conversation. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
thanks,
energy. It's
John.
great to see you, Jess.
Great
Thanks,
to see you.
everybody.
Thanks, guys. We will see you all again soon.
Yeah.